Whoa, I think I'm making a video. Ooh, I am. I'm making a video. Alright. Yeah. Subjects. Yeah, first off, I'm a couple of full day videos behind, so obviously I'll have a catch-up day. You know, maybe on Christmas or something. But anyway, you know, I'll make more than that, obviously. But anyway, I kind of want to do those serious. I don't want to do those as walk and talks because it gets a little bit too scattered and, you know, screw that. So this video, two subjects probably. I mean, I just saw a Karina video, and so now that's on my mind. And censorship. That's not the subject. I mean, that's her subject. It's not my subject. But anyway, yeah, it just gave me hurt feelings again. You know, I was just thinking about that. She didn't invite me. She's having some sort of fundraiser for atheism. And I was just thinking about atheism and how this really is about atheism, too. I mean, this whole etholess thing. Because, you know, if you're an atheist, yeah, you're stuck with such a brutal truth. I mean, Darwin, you know, she was talking about, like, the atheist something or other, or some organization, and they have a whole library and everything, and you're like, well, what would they need in the library? You only need, like, one book. You know, Darwin kind of spelled it out. I mean, he didn't have the balls to spell it out all the way, but he sort of spelled it out. And, yeah, that's it. Game over. You know, yeah, it's just a dismal truth. I mean, it really is just an insipid gladiator war. We're equipped with tools. We go to the arena, we kill, we lay an egg, and we die. That's atheism. That's the truth of our reality. All this crap, all this glory hunting, all this hunting is just moronic, silly, stupid, imbecilic. You know, it has nothing to do with anything rational. And the egg-laying thing is just goddamn preposterous. Why the fuck would you force a new warrior into the arena? You know, another Christian for the lions to eat, or vice versa. What the fuck would you do that for? Oh, that's right, because you're an idiot. Yeah, that's atheism. If you don't understand that simple truth, you're not an atheist. You're some kind of other thing. But anyway, that's my contention. Mine alone. For right now, anyway. Yes, everything's mine alone. I have my own penis and my own philosophy. Yay! And mine are good and yours all suck. God, is this my path? This is just not acceptable. I have to do better. This is not good enough. Yeah, someday I have to actually clean this so I have an efficient way to get where I'm going instead of having to walk through all this crap. Really, that's not good enough. Gotta do better than that. But yeah, it really is still just horrible back here. I have to go through all this bullshit. I mean, look at the carnage, tree carnage here. I mean, it's just everywhere. The death and the destruction of the poor treeites. But anyway, I'm crawling over their poor little corpses. No offense, fellas. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, what I really wanted to talk about. Now you probably already quit watching the video. Well, it doesn't matter, right? You don't have to. I'll title it something Fredish. Yeah, it's really about Fred. Fred's novel. So I did finish it. How did it end? I forget. Yeah, the ending was just a mess. You know, you could see he was getting tired. And he was just like, how do I finish this? What do I do with I don't know. Whoa. Chicken soup. Yeah, that. Whoa. Oh, there's a broken tree up there. Get the hell out of here, Gary. Don't follow me. I've been reverent. Really. You holy dead tree. Blah, 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 blah. Don't curse me or anything. Anyway. I mean, look, they're everywhere. Tree. Horror. Anyway. Just can't go anywhere. They're just all over the place. Anyway. So anyway, the novel, yeah. So anyway, look, Fred, he knows how to write words. I mean, there's a lot of words, kind of poetic. That's it. That's really all I have to say, I think. It's kind of poetry. You know, it's not like your explicit kind of novel. It's kind of your You can't call it a romantic novel because it's just not romantic at all. I mean, the sex is really gross. But anyway, I mean, just gross and in the overdone, too much, and just too sloppy. No seduction. No. He doesn't lead up to it in any kind of graceful way. No foreplay. Anyway. But yeah, so the story is basically it has an anti-natalist theme, like all these British countries. Yeah, British countries, cities apparently that are like countries though, because they seem to have completely different rules and regulations. But anyway, and they have all this mechanisms of stopping the horrible natalers, and it's very reminiscent of past sci-fi movies, Soylent Green or something, where you have agencies that take care of certain things and do, just this kind of, they might wear preposterous uniforms and have preposterous names, and, we are the Lollipop Guild or something. Yeah, Wizard of Ozzy kind of, Munchkin Landy kind of bullshit. So yeah, I mean, if you were looking for any kind of substance, that kind of just throws you off right from the start, because you're just like, oh, this doesn't have anything to do with reality. Yeah, so, okay, whatever. Read on. So anyway, the characters are interesting enough. I mean, they're made to be sympathetic in some ways, but too fucking weird in some respects. Well, just no, in a lot of, just about every respect. I can't relate to any of it. And he threw in some of his video weirdness stuff, gave it kind of life, a different kind of life. A texturophile, I guess you'd call him, somebody who's, gets off on just feeling things. And, he did an interesting job of disposing of people. Interesting enough, I suppose, except for like the main character who he disposed of without even, it's like 2 paragraphs or a paragraph. And he took a whole chapter on the other guy, but it was well done. I mean, well done in those elements. I mean, overall, it was not, it was Fred's novel, so I can't even give you an objective. If it was some anonymous thing I got from somebody, I'd say, oh, what a pile of shit. Just because the lack of continuity. In the novel, he's basically narrating how he's writing a novel, and basically saying, I don't know, what's going on, I don't know. Maybe something's happening. Oh, I don't know, is this real? I don't know, is this fake? I don't know, whatever. I mean, it's just way too, he takes you out of, he puts you in it, and then he takes you out of it. Then he puts you in it, and then he takes you out of it. So, there's really no point in doing that. So anyway, the parts that were interesting, though, were the descriptions of cities. I mean, some of them. Those even kind of fell off at the end. The first few were pretty good. And then they just sort of gotten kind of samey. Or just kind of, who cares-y. But this whole idea, again, back to, well, how do you structure human civilization? Ideally. Or even less than ideally. Even just differently. Functionally, at any rate. Value safely. I don't even know if he had that much ambition. I mean, they were just variations on the human life theme. What if you did do this? How would it look? And they weren't very deep, and he concedes that. Deep in terms of being coherent to reality, physics, what would really happen. So, yeah, I'm not useful for that purpose, but just useful in terms of stimulating your own thoughts about, what can be done with this device called the human consciousness. As someone who's thought a lot about virtual reality and picked at it and poked at it and thought about it kind of extensively, I would argue that's the only way to go if you're going to try to maintain human consciousness. The idea is basically you got this mechanism that just thrives on competition. So the point is you kind of have to create safe competitions, a safe battle for us to fight that creates some kind of mechanism of, rational reward and, that keeps everything in perspective enough where people don't just squander their lives on nonsense, and that what we fight to be has some kind of redeeming value, winning battles, to be king of a rock, like we could kill each other or beat the shit out of each other to stand on top of that rock. That wouldn't really accomplish anything. If we're going to compete with each other, we ought to compete over something of real accomplishment. And we really don't have that mechanism. And is it possible, really, to do this, to create a human being that can keep it within perspective, that can be competitive without being obsessive and controlling and I don't know how to put it exactly, but the simplest analogy, I don't know what the right word is, the simplest way to look at it, to see it for what it is say for the man-woman thing, and can men at some point settle? Do they have to compete over who gets, the princess, or can we all settle on, Beulah? Whatever we get, just take what you get. And I don't think you can really build the game where that's going to be possible, where we're not going to have some sort of ego perspective built into our desire, and more importantly into our satisfaction of our desire. Because in so many ways, isn't that all it's about? Is feeling like you won, like and it is just perceptual, but it's a tricky perception. Well, anyway, this is all psychology shit. I think you could just shoot us up with something and make us think anything, but that gets hard to justify. Purpose in a syringe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That doesn't sound like too good an idea. And the point is, if you do it in this real world thing, there's real victims. If you do it in a virtual reality, well, then you don't got to worry about it. Then it's all fail-safe. You can create any kind of world, and it really doesn't. Efficiency is no longer relevant. There's no real sentience being consumed or hurt or damaged or exploited. There's no real gladiator war anymore. There's just a perceptual consciousness winning its little battles, gaining its satisfaction, playing out its little soap opera. That's all there really is, a soap opera. That's all there is. There's Shakespeare plays and nothing else. There's human drama, and that's it. There's nothing else happening here. And so now we're sort of back to the atheism subject, because that's all there is. You can keep trying to gild the lily. It's more like gilding the cat shit. You can try to do that. You can bronze the ugly butt. You can what else is there? There's gilding lilies, and there's clouds of silver lining, but that's not the same. I know there's another one of these lipstick on a pig thing. You can keep trying to do that, but the truth is just sitting there saying, nope, there's no other game here. It's all this just bullshit, just a bullshit delusion of success or failure based on some standard. The game sets up for you. It says this is what winning looks like, achieve this or fail. And you can believe you achieved it or you can believe you didn't. We've all seen people who are incredibly good looking who thought they were ugly. You know, it's just like, oh man, is that ever stupid? But yeah, that's the problem here. And incredibly ugly people who thought they were beautiful, which is really funnier. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Yeah, maybe I fall in that category, but it doesn't matter. Because yeah, we all, in the end, we just sit there and justify whoever comes out happy. Doesn't matter whether it's bullshit or not. Doesn't matter whether it's made out of complete nonsense. No, that works because they are happy. You know, the fact that there's a winner of the game means the game is good. People don't think any further than that. It really is idiotic. Now what else? My hands getting all cold. Anyway, yeah, so I guess that's enough. There's no point in dragging it out. So, yeah, the novel was, I mean, shit, he wrote a novel, he wrote a book. I mean, I don't know if it's a regular big book, but I mean, it's something, and doesn't really say anything, but it's kind of poetic and sort of, I mean, it has some thought-provoking elements. There are some interestingly done characterizations or descriptions of realities. Boy, that is obnoxiously loud. Man, I mean, that's really far away. It's like, you know, a quarter mile away. Damn tree eaters. Anyway, I think the wind wasn't enough trouble. Oh yeah, back to the bottom line thing of the atheist thing, yeah. But yeah, he didn't really deal with the real problems here. Didn't offer anything. He ends the novel with nothing. I mean, it's a nothing ending. Doesn't say anything at all. So yeah, it wasn't really a very good statement on the human condition as it is, or the human condition as we could maybe possibly refine it into something. It was kind of just a cheap shot at the idea of procreation control and little else. Well, except for the other parts I just said. Yeah, little else except for, you know, the somewhat good parts. So yeah, that's the end of my review, my commentary, my critique, my whatever you call that shit. And I'll move along to the next thing. Today. I don't like working. I don't like working. No, I don't like it at all. Actually, I hate it. But I don't got much choice. Anyway, till next time. So forth and whatnot.